Hi, I'm David Disty from the Sign Walk-In Counseling Program. October 10th is coming up, and that's the World Mental Health Awareness Day. And as part of that, I want to share with you some different ideas on what you can do to help manage those highs and lows of emotion. Whenever life throws us curveballs, it's natural for our emotions to get to a place where we don't know what to do with them. And that happens to everybody. And so I want to give you some ideas on what helps to get yourself into a mindset or a place where you can manage these things in an effective way. So first off, I want to make sure that we know that we don't want to numb ourselves out from these emotions. We don't want all these emotions to go away, because that kind of takes away from a part of life that we really need. These emotions are a good thing. I don't believe that there's any such thing as a good emotion or a bad emotion. They're all information for us. And they're all emotions that we need for different times of life. Like, we don't want to be angry all the time, but there's a time for anger. We don't want to be scared all the time, but there's a time for fear. We don't want to be anxious all the time, but there's a time for anxiety. For instance, if you don't have anxiety, like any anxiety, then going on a roller coaster wouldn't be enjoyable at all. Where's the fun in going on a roller coaster if you don't have some anxiety about what's happening now? So we don't want to get rid of all emotions. And so some of the things that people do to manage their emotions tend to go towards getting rid of all the emotions and ignoring all the stuff that's going on in our lives. And we don't want to do that. So I want to share with you some things that help you to have those emotions not way up here, but kind of in a manageable place where you can think about the struggles that you're dealing with in a better way. And so what I've found is that a lot of times the things that we can do that help bring our emotions to a good spot are things that are both rhythmical and focusing on the five senses. So some things that people often talk about, like going for a walk, and that helps absolutely. It's very rhythmical. It's right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. You can't get much more rhythmical than that. And it's also focusing on the five senses. You're going out and seeing all sorts of different things out there. You're smelling all the different smells of, right now, the fall air, of the leaves on the ground. You're hearing the wind in the trees. All the five senses are being activated there. Other things that people do with the five senses and that are rhythmical, things like cooking. It's very rhythmical to be stirring a pot of soup or whatever it is that you're making, or cutting up vegetables. That's extremely rhythmical, and you're using all five senses there again too. Other things that you see people doing, when you watch sports, the coach on the sidelines is often chewing gum. So having something in your mouth can be helpful to move your jaw. Moving the jaw is one of the things that really helps us. And so if it's a piece of gum or having a Tic Tac, we don't want it to become an addiction where there always needs to be food. That's one part where food addictions come into play. But it could be eating sunflower seeds, just chewing on gum, things like that. So those are a few different things, and there's lots of creativity that can come into play. And what other things do you already do that are rhythmical and using the five senses? So I'm guessing a lot of people, when I'm ask them this question, they say, well, I don't know, I don't really do anything. But everybody has some things that they naturally do. Some people knit or crochet. I often fidget with pens, and that's rhythmical, and it's focusing my mind on those five senses, not all of them. But what do you already do in your everyday life that you can maybe do more of? And what kind of things might fit in this category of rhythmical and using the five senses that you could look into? So there's a lot of creativity that can be used here. So that might mean, what are things that I don't necessarily think I need to do, but I could do. I've talked with some people who find cleaning to be really helpful. Getting your hands in the dish soap. It helps. It's very much focusing on that tactile piece and the rhythm of scrubbing a dish. So yeah, some people can take clean dishes out of the cupboard and put them in the sink. I don't do that, but it works for some people. I love going out into nature and getting my feet in the grass. So there's something about being on grass that does a different thing inside my heart and soul than walking on pavement. So some people find that helpful. Some people find just taking off their socks and shoes and feeling their feet on the bare floor. That grounds you. So as you go about your life, look at, what do I do in life that is already rhythmical and that brings me back to this present moment, to what am I feeling, what am I seeing, what am I hearing, what am I tasting, what am I smelling? And I'm guessing if you take some time to look at these things, you'll find that you already do a lot and that maybe you can intentionally do them a little bit more often. And so I encourage you, if you're struggling with that, contact Sign and the Walk-In Counseling Program. We can explore these things more with you. And there's lots of other resources around you too. So encourage others around you to do what they need to do to manage their emotions, and not to ignore them or to numb out, but to manage them in a way that we can still process the difficult things in life.